Hey, 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 happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to a special Thursday night edition of Wickin' It and Kicking It. We got no vlog, so we gonna make the best of it here. Have a good old grand time like it's a Monday, except it's a Thursday. Hope everybody's been having a pretty kick-ass week. And you're all out there enjoying something tasty. I sure as heck got a lineup in front of me. Pretty much everything I've been rocking out with for the past couple weeks and the things that we set up on Monday. And coming into a Thursday, doing a second stream for the week, I wasn't 100% sure what we were gonna do. So I thought to myself, usually when I grab a couple things, just like real quick, just like having something in mind and then have you guys help me choose and we kind of wing it, things usually go pretty good. Things go pretty good. We might do just an old fashioned, just wick a few things up and hang out. You know what I mean? But let me know what you guys are rocking on. I don't know if we're gonna go through all the hand checks and the desk checks like we do. Oh well, I guess my phone has charged up more than I thought it was. Thought it had. Looks like let's see. I got a bunch of messages I missed out on, so yeah, it looks like people are sending some in. So we'll go through them when the time is right. Or you can just throw in the chat. Let me know what you're enjoying. Something tasty. Got any JMW in your lineup? Let me know. Maybe you got some Lady Liberty goodies. I sure as heck know I've got some Lady Liberty. Well, technically it's an advocate for liberty. Uh, Still rocking this guy. This guy from Monday. The stock RTA, we put it on a clutch and it's loaded up with that mango. I will tell you what, this thing definitely reminds me a lot of the Eclipse. It even leaks like the Eclipse because you got to keep on opening it and stuffing the cotton back down. And I can even see now that when I refilled it, it pushed the cotton up out of those wicking channels again. So before I refill it, I gotta open it, tuck the cotton again. Kind of a pain in the ass, but it vapes freaking great. Single Duchess coils, triple 26 in there. And Mango Sublime. Been enjoying the hell out of it. Doesn't go quite as well with coffee as some other vapes, but we're gonna take a sip. Cheers, and then we're gonna see who's here. And let me know. You guys do anything interesting the last few days since we last hung out? Drop it in chat. We're gonna try to get through this maybe a little quicker than we normally do. But we do have Punk Rock Vapor first in chat saying yo yo yo. Brian Enoch right behind him. Shout out to the Punk Rock Vapor. He reached out and extended an invite to me for the beginning of September. We're gonna have a good old time on his channel with him and Birdie. We do got Birdman here. I think this is Birdman's first time here. Welcome to Wickin' It and Kicking It, Birdie. It's great to see you. Usually I'm on the I'm on the other end. Awesome, dude. Welcome. Uh Wake up lazy bones, he says. We got Hippo in the house. He might dip in and out. All right, dude. Well, if you're here, great to see you, brother. That's my coffee buddy right there. Cheers. Mm-mm. Um, let's see. A bunch back and forth. Hippo's whipping up the coffee for the stream, though. Yeah. See. That's what's up, dude. It's 8:45 a.m. Friday in Aussie land. Dang. I guess I mean it could be earlier. The time differences always throw me for a loop because whenever I would watch AVS, I would usually fall asleep watching it because it's on so early, late at night, early in the morning here. Punk Rock says, I'm doing it. Coffee time. Damn it, Steve-O. Hope it's a good stream. Now look what you made me do. Yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. Amy kicked you out of bed. Yeah. That's funny. Not far off, apparently. Me trying to tickle her. Gotcha. You guys just having a good old conversation, waiting for the show to start. Yeah, I had to pump it back an extra 10 minutes because I just wanted to make sure I had everything ready to rock. Uh, Heath, Heath made it. I know Heath has missed a couple recently, so glad to see you. He says, "What's up, everyone?" My man Furfur Strode is here. Coffee is the most important meal of the day. It is. And I think that's really what they mean when they say breakfast is the most important meal, because breakfast comes with coffee, or at least it should. Um, let's see, coconut crunch on the Asgard Mini. That's the Mao mix. Coconut crunch on the Asgard Mini is kind of what I needed out of the day, dude. Yeah, dude. I have been holding off on my second bottle of Coconut Crunch, and now with Mao taking a little break, I definitely am going to be savoring that. But I have been enjoying a coconut of my own, a little sloppy, a little bit of that. Anybody likes to use the original RDA for vaping, the uh, the weepy mess that it can be compared to the V2. But I just personally like the airflow better on the V1. I've got my Samoa cheesecake still rocking in the V1 on the painted Kennedy Vindicator. Some Duchess coils, Wraith coils, formerly known as the Bullies. Probably my new favorite mech build. That Samoa cheesecake, that balance of coconut, salted caramel, and a little bit of chocolate over that creamy base. I really need the campaign. We're going to make a campaign or have a conversation with my partner to release that recipe because it belongs on the menu. Advocate for Liberty is here. We got Stephen L. in the house, which both of you guys reminded me. I forgot to grab my Favlora box. I was going to open it and go through the flavors tonight. Let's see. Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah. What's up, dude? Dell says, Steve, oh, my dude. Dell is my man right there, man. It's great to see you. He's been waiting here over a week for flavors now. Oh, yeah, that's right. Has it been that long, a whole week for a Bull City order? That that sucks, dude. That St. Louis distribution center is whack, B. Um, we have an order of flavors coming as well. I need to put one in. I need to put a couple in, both for business and for pleasure. Let's see. Just want to cook, bro, says Dell. Furfur says I have an order of squonk bottles coming, but I don't know. I wasn't signed in, so we shall see. Uh, I mean, if you put the order in, they should be on point. Oh yeah, Tim's Hexome came today. Tim got that orange, that Hex Angel. It looks so sick too. Hell yeah, Hexome. Everybody should have a Hexome, I think. Listen, it's nothing life changing. It's just a really good, reliable mod. A couple people have asked me that recently. What's so special about Hexomes? They're just a really good, reliable mod, and I enjoy them. A little bit of variable voltage. You got a nice, and if you build it correctly, you have a nice like midway point between like just a standard regulated device and a series device because they max out at 6 volts. It's a nice it's a nice halfway point if like say somebody like me, I used to enjoy series, but it's a little too rowdy for me these days. I can put like a point 0.2 dual build on a Hexome, crank that up to like maybe 70% on the potentiometer, You know, get a nice like 130 30 watts ish type of vape from it, because that's about my max these days. I've been doing a lot more lower wattage lately though. Heath is saying, "What up, bro? What up, dude? I'm glad you could make it." The Republic with the reload hasn't left Tim's hand since it was built. Yeah, I did grab the Republic because I was thinking I haven't used it in a while, and I thought maybe we would get that and rotate back in rotation tonight. You know me, I love my squonkers. Furfur says 30 millimeter on the Republic. Yeah, he's gonna die on that hill. Listen, the 30 mil does, especially look, 30 millimeter Asgard with the beauty ring brings it out to 33 millimeters. It is proportionately pretty perfect, right? It's pretty perfect. But I don't think 28 millimeters looks bad on it. I did run the Bonza Pro on it. That's 25 millimeters, and I thought Bonza Pro looked perfectly fine myself. You also, you know, you can put like a single coil on there and get battery life for days. Punk Rock says he picked up a crazy haul today. Over 200 RTAs and RDAs, including several Reload 26 RTAs and loads of other stuff. That's wild, dude. 200 RTAs and RDAs. Dang. That is a haul. That is a haul. Tim says the Reload looks very at home on it. It does, and they're matchy colors. I saw it. Dalton is here. Yo, Team Mayonnaise, I'm late. You're right on time, dude. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Uh, Under Hangz like an SOB. I know. Brian says he ordered a Blaze Pro Max today. Dude, I love the original Blaze RTA. I really do. I've never tried the Solo, and I never tried the Max, but that original OG Blaze RTA is an all time favorite of mine. And I'm sure they all are very similar. Brian, Thunderhead. Oh, I have a Thunderhead one, so I had to try. Yeah, because now it's Thundercloud. Thundercloud, man, they're crushing it right now. They're the up and coming company. I gotta plug my laptop in here. Hold on a second. There we go. Make sure not to bump anything. All right, we're good. We're good. We're rocking and rolling. Uh, do your thing and enjoy it. Just because I disagree doesn't mean it doesn't rock. Yeah, yeah, but he's definitely gonna take jabs at you. Punk Rock says I prefer the Max Pro. Okay, cool, cool, dude. Yeah, listen, I was so hardcore squonk single coil RDA with the occasional RTA thrown in, but lately, and you can thank Dell for this. I can thank Dell for this. Dell has been on a mission to get me to get more RTAs into rotation more often. And I mean, it seems to be working because I have two RTAs in rotation at the moment. They're both single coil because I also have that Diplomat. The Diplomat that every time I think I got this thing freaking down, the wicking, I'll wick it up and it'll be wrong. So I'm still trying to get consistent with it, but right now it's vaping pretty darn good. Got the apricot almond in here. I don't know. It's like wishy washy, man. That hit seemed a little dry, but if I get cranking on it, it'll start wicking. There we go. That was nice and saturated. And that apricot almond, mwah. Which that's another one. That's another recipe that I absolutely love that I think should be released. But listen, they're both public on ELR. So if anybody is ever interested in trying them, you can find them on my ELR. Let's see. Lady Liberty in the house. Can't forget Lady Liberty. Uh, Punk Rock is currently using a Steam Crave Hadron Pro with a Steam Crave Ragnar RDTA with a beast of a series build in it. Oh, dude, yeah. I was listen. I did have series in mind, but I'm usually pushing it when I try series these days. But I did have something possibly series in mind tonight. Um, Sent you some pics on Messenger. Okay, cool. We'll check them. We'll check them. Ronnie Jim is here. Ronnie, good evening. Hope you're having a great night. Uh, Tim went through nearly 60 mils of Mango Sublime in the Republic in about 24 hours. Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that because it makes me want to put something big and fat on there and turn up the wattage and just rip it. Especially because that was the last time I did some series, is because the bypass mode on here is series. And I've got the Axial Pro, the series deck, and with a glass cap on it, which actually allows a good amount of airflow in and cools the vape down nicely for a series. And that was a really enjoyable series vape. The series bypass on that mod, I think, is a nice touch. Dell needs to reset his Republic, rocking the Empire. Okay. Uh, that's another one I haven't busted out in a while. Uh, Cassie said she's gone through a half a 60 of butter rum coffee ice cream since yesterday during Benny when I first filled up the skunk. Oh, I completely missed Benny yesterday. I was hanging out on Sub Ohm Enthusiast Retro Vapes towards the end. I missed like the first half of it, but he ran long until about 6 p.m. my time. I was hanging out there, and their streams overlap. It's a good time over there. I try to pop in and say hello to both, but sometimes I'll miss one. Let's see. Furfur says that I got to pump up these numbers. The apple cream cake, the hog is coming out. Yeah. Last night we were joking around. Furfur says he's got to pull out his hog. He is getting close to the gallon mark. That's how much apple cream cake for his vape. He's getting close to a gallon. He's over a half a gallon. Let's just say that. Oh, Crystal is here. Hello, everyone. Hey, Crystal. Welcome. Good to see you again. Birdman never sleeps. No rest for a superhero. I know, right? Dude. Birdman, I don't know. I think Legion had mentioned this before during an AVS stream. Like he gives me like Mad Max vibes, like some vapor out in the wilderness with some kind of like this whole bunch of machinery that gathers up solar power to the point where he finally has enough power to you know to fire off like the biggest freaking mech setup known to man, and he could and he can gather up enough sun to take like a couple big rips a day. I don't. It was like this dystopian freaking vape fantasy type of world that it was cool, but I could really picture it. um, for first cranking on his hog, yeah, yeah. Now he's cranking on it. Yesterday he was just pulling it out. Um, um, Coffee is made from beans. That counts as breakfast. Okay, okay. Peter is here. Good evening. Good to see you. Speaking of coffee, mine just finished. Heck yeah, everybody grab some coffee. Let's see. Yo yo, Jeremy M. Good to see you, dude. Dell says peanut butter cookie. I sent some peanut butter cookie to Dan. We'll see how that goes. Dirtle is here. Dirtle, what's up, dude? Haven't talked to you in a few days. Good to see you. Well, I did respond to your message earlier today, but it's good to see you, buddy. He says yo yoy to the yo yoys and JMW fam. Indeed. Flavora flavor release has a few made more for pods than open system setups. Yeah, yeah, I did notice that when I was looking through the list. Uh, let's see. Let me know if you can do a 6% WS20. Yo, Dirtle is obsessed with 6% WS23. He likes his vapes cold. A BCF order should be here Monday. I gotta put one in. I need a couple things. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Wonder Flavors packs to hit. Got an email earlier. Oh yeah, Lady's got a Hexom coming too. Heck yeah. I sent the hand check from earlier. All right, sweet. We'll check them out. Hopefully win your raffle. That's right. We do. It is posted in the JMW group and a couple of the different discords. I'm pretty sure I posted it in Mixtopolis, in the Yo-Yo, of course the JMW Discord, the raffle rumble. First prize is a Hexome, a Toot Life, a red Toot Life Hexome signed by Grim Green. And of course, there are other prizes like a Bonza Pro, uh, and a Alexa 6 RBA. Choice between those for second prize. Depending on how many tickets sell, obviously depends on how many prizes we give away. We try not to walk away with any extra. You know what I mean? Uh, Stephen L needs a hex. Heck yeah, dude. Neil Pitts is here. What's up, dude? Uh, 400 puffs on the Republic in less than 24 hours is normal, right? Never realized how much dripping slowed my roll from chain vaping. Yeah, I want to say that's about on par. 400 puffs. I can't remember. That's probably about how many I put on my Republic the first day I had it. And then I don't know. I get so much stuff I rotate through. So it's time to show the Republic some love, I think. Waiting to get my Blaze 2, says Peter. But unfortunately, it's coming from China, so should have it by BBD. I'm not sure. Well, he should have it. It's coming from China. It's on the slow boat probably. Birdie is back. Heck yeah, dude. We are 10 minutes behind. I just realized that though the times weren't popping up on the comments before in my thing, but now they're back. I can actually see how far behind I am. Um, it's all right. We'll catch up. My man Duchess is in the house, always helping out with the links. Um, and of course, there's the JMW forum. There is um, the link to the Malmix Discord or the Mixtopolis Discord, where you can find everybody from JMW to Lady Liberty to Duchess. Mao is taking a break. Duchess is on a break too. Also, he will be dropping the link for the JMW Discord as well. If you're not a member of the JMW Discord, hop in. I'm thinking, and if anybody would like to, we're thinking about hopping into the voice chat there after the stream tonight and hanging out for a bit. Um, it's not like a boosted server though, so I'm pretty sure the max limit is probably 25 people. But unlike other servers where more people can hop in, but 25 is a lot of people. I do got a lot of work to do, but we're still gonna hang out and have a good time. You gotta make time to hang out and do things like this. Like this is what makes it all worth it. This is what makes it all worth it. Getting together as a community and having a freaking good time, man. Birdman had to lift heavy machinery with one hand to change the tire with the other. Took him 5 minutes. What a beast. Yeah. And thank you for always sharing this, Duchess. Mental health is hyper important. If you're struggling, please know you are not alone. And if it's needed, you can visit that link right there, or you can dial 988 for assistance. You can reach out to somebody here. Of course, Duchess always says, don't reach out to him. But anybody else, he jokes around. But I bet if you reached out to Duchess, he would he wouldn't bite your head off. I promise. Okay, maybe I shouldn't make that promise. Gunny is here. Evening peeps. What's up, Gunny? Help support the homegirl. There it is. There's the Lady Liberty link. There's the Discord. Neil says, "Lady, I just took a big rip off the white chocolate blueberry truffle. So good. Yeah, I really want to try that one." Stolen Time says, "Howdy, everyone." Dell's doing his part. Let's see. Yes, you are, sir. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, Steve-O. Hey, Birdman. Let's see. We're catching up. We're catching up. That apricot sounds awesome. Yeah. And I mean, listen, we have that in the no option on the order form. So like at the top, if you check mark the box for in the know and then go down to the form to the bottom of the form, there's write in spaces. If anybody ever really wanted to try it, you could just write in apricot almond, and as long as that in the nose check marked, I'd be happy to let anybody order anything. That's what that's for. It's for special requests. And enough people do request things, like my partner will notice it and it might speed things along, but he's the one with the back end the back end ability to add the new stuffs. Um, really good. I'm hoping the MF doesn't darken it too much. Oh, that's right. You added MF blueberry to the blueberry truffle. First blaze wicked it with no leaking issues. Yeah, I sometimes would leak the blaze a little too light and it would gurgle a little on me, but that's because like I was intentionally trying to force it to vape as saturated as possible. Um, but I never had many issues really with the original blaze. I heard the solo some people have a hard time with. Uh, there we are. The hog is set up, and I'm gonna hit that gallon mark. Yeah, LT is here. Always great to see you. Del says my apricot almond is different than other apricot almonds. Uh, Trust me, bro. Okay. Let's see. Really nice having Hangz after Tuesday show with Dell, Nate, Crystal, and Stephen L. Likely Hangz on Tuesdays will be a thing. Dude, I miss, because we used to do that when we used to still come on the panel every Tuesday with you. Um, I was more likely to be able to hit the Tuesday hangout than the Saturday hangout, depending on whether or not my son was here. And I do miss those Tuesday hangs. I mean, we hang out a lot more in all different communities now compared to back then. It was like a set thing. We would do Tuesdays and Saturdays after AAFL streams, Thursdays after the vlog. But now, if I pop around and look through all the servers, I'm sure I can find at least a few people hanging out in one of them. Baby lungs. Stephen L says, Hangz! Yes, Hangz. Well, I know not everybody is in the yo-yo anymore, and I thought, since we're live here, why not? And the JMW Discord has been open. Why not make use of it? Out of nowhere, my dwarf started leaking. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, what happens probably is the wicks either lifted up or somehow they pulled away from that wicking hole. Because if there's too much space ends up between like that wicking hole and your cotton, the juice can flood in. The juice can flood in faster. You really want to have like that wall of cotton pressed up against where that wicking hole is. Lightly, you want it against it lightly, but you definitely want it covered up. What happened is after over the course of vaping it, the wicks might have kind of like if you happen to vape the tank dry at all, it could have like contracted the wicks backwards. I don't know how to actually put it in words. But you'll get it, dude. It's actually a lot easier to wick than it seems once you get used to it, especially. You need to rock a 7-stack, Steve-O? Ooh, that will, yo, I will leave that to you, Birdie. um, let's see. Working on so many recipes right now. Del, I am so glad to see that you've got the mixing bug and you are getting inspired. Keep on rocking out, dude. And of course, don't hesitate, you know, if you ever have any questions, if you need any recommendations on a flavor or something, I'm always here. I might not always have the answer, you know, but sometimes we can brainstorm things together to find it. DIY is life, says Stephen L. It really is. Dell said whipped lemonade soon. Yeah, you reminded me of Oz. Oz messaged me like last week about a similar type of profile, and I was kind of stumped on an answer, and then I kind of forgot to message him back, and just remembered now. Let's see, a little crazy, Steve-O. Yeah, but yeah, but it's expected. It's expected, Birdman. Whip it up. Let's see, Thunderdome Utilities. Yeah. Exactly. LT didn't say hi to me. Uh-oh. Don't sell yourself short. You are full on batshit crazy and we love you for it. Yeah. It's funny because now everybody's come together. We got one guy whipping out his hog and the other guy showing his his starfish. And yeah, that's a recipe for disaster right there. I was being PC for a change. Oh yeah. Doing good, man. Let's see. That ice throat, says Delia. Working outside as usual. Let's see. Neil says, anybody tried Marketplace Fuji Pear Mango Berry? Trying to figure out if the mango berry is mango and strawberry or something else. Want to try and copy it? Yeah, I've never had it. I know a few people like in the yo-yo I have. Because Marketplace was all the rage for a little bit. Let's see. I don't want to derail Steve's stream. I don't know him well enough yet. Oh, it'll get derailed. It definitely gets derailed here. Maybe not quite as bad as AVS did, but it does have a tendency to get derailed. Um, let's see. Let's see. Are we playing prison rules? Yeah. The Iceman cometh. Ice cold, yes. Tim's yelling, Captain Caveman, go chocolate starfish. If there's more than 25, I can open up a Zoom room if you need it. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I mean, 25 is a lot of people. It's a lot of people. Let's see. Hey, Arnie's here. Arnie's here. What's up, dude? Oh, there's Mao. Hope everyone's having an awesome run so far. Mao, it's good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing all right. Good to see you. I'm glad you came to hang out, man. Let's see. A lot of people just saying hello back and forth. Those are the ones I try to skip because we definitely fall behind here. Coffee made. Dalton, cheers. Black and pink for the win. V8 is here. What's up, dude? Um, gotta work. Catch y'all later. Birdie, have a great night, dude. Or morning. Morning. Let's see. Birdie, don't forget to send that link. Let's see. I think we can fly through most of these. We love picking your brain on flavors, Steve-O. Yeah. Happy to help. Happy to help. Still need to figure out what I'm mixing for Saturday. Yeah, I don't know. Is Saturday the regional recipe one? I don't know. I did come up with an idea for a recipe. I think I might have mentioned it Monday. And it kind of came from putting caramel macchiato creamer and Capella sugar cookie into my coffee. Um, Caramel coffee, cookie dough ice cream. And I did draft that up. I still haven't mixed it yet. I thought about getting the flavors out to mix it tonight, but I ran out of time and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to mix tonight or not. I'll get derailed now that I'm here. Yeah. Just having a drink and chilling, says Mao. Awesome, dude. Hey, CJ, what's up, dude? Having a squonk from this decade was a huge jump for me. Yo, that's facts. That's right. You haven't had a squonk in a while. All right. Some people did send some stuff in, so we might as well take a look. Dalton sent in a video. He's the only one on Discord that sent something in. Um, let's see what we can do here. We might as well show him off, huh? All right, there we go. We got the crackles. Let's get the focus on. Mike DeVries, hope everyone's having a good day. Mike, good to see you, brother. My control panel's not coming up the way that I thought it would. There we go. Still rocking that unholy recoil. He's got some noms. You hear that crackle? Woohoo! All right, let's get over here. Cassie did send in. She's got, oh yeah, there it is. There it is. The Pink Republic. It's supposed to be purple, I guess, but it's what it I forget what I think it's like plum delight or something is the color. It's supposed to be purple, but it's not. The gaudy nitrous, butter rum ice cream. Heck yeah. I think can we no, that's last week's. There it is. There's the side view. Looking good, looking good. The little 22 millimeter guy on a 37 millimeter platform. It gets the job done. There we go. There's the orange Hex Angel right there with some peach tea paradise, one of my favorites from Mao. Look at that. Hex Angel for the win, dude. For the win. So glad you finally got it, dude. And then there is Tim's Hexome or Republic. Wine Red Republic, the Red Reload S Spectrum edition. Oh, I'm slamming my phone into the camera. The Facebook ones we could probably share on screen, but this works fine. We're a little unorthodox here. Butter rum coffee ice cream in the Republic, says Tim. Hell yeah. Heath sent some pretty rad stuff over too. He's got a couple zero mods. He's got a the Zero SQ, that skull, dude, that skull one. If I were to snag a zero mod, it would be that SQ right there. I did it again. I'm losing my grip on my phone. All right, there we go. And the Zero X, I believe, is that one with the Valkyrie on top. And I think that on top of the SQ is I believe that's a Nightmare V2 Mini. Nightmare V2 Mini. Looking good, man. A little hand check. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. And that is everybody. No, I saw something just come in from Mao. I did see something come in from Mao. My man, I can always count on Mao. Oh, the heavy hitter. And of course, the Andromeda. I'm pretty sure that's Mao's favorite RDA. He's got like 3 of them. He's always rocking them. He's got one on the heavy hitter now. It's probably a spicy, spicy meatball of a build inside of that, knowing Mao. Hell yeah, guys. Heck yeah. Heck yes. Zero mods. I have 2 absolutely killer. Hell yeah. Dell, did I forget you? I thought oh, there we go. I did forget you. Dell's got the Empire rocking with a Whoa, what just happened? Hold on a second. There we go. My screen just went real big for a second. He's got the Empire with the Zoo 1 on it. I'm pretty sure that's the Zoo 1. There we go. All blacked out. And whatever liquid he's working on right there. I think that might be the key lime that he's been telling me he's been working on, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. 100 count tin of fused Claptons from Amazon. Let's see. Hell yeah, Zero Mods. Let's see. Those are dope. Oh, QHB is here? Did I miss QHB? I have not seen Queen Honey Bunny in a minute. Yo, QHB, it is great to see you. It's been a while. I hope everything's well as it can be. I know you've been going through some stuff. It's great to see you, QHB. Let's see. The Nightmare V2 Mini has become my favorite squonker. Yeah, okay, I can see that. It's definitely made for squonking. Yeah, we pretty much did go through most of what I was vaping on. This guy we talked about already. I love the way that the stock looks on the clutch. It's really hard to make something look bad on the clutch unless it's like overhanging, but that mango sublime in here, so delicious. And look at the big bubbles I'm getting. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hold on. Let's see if we can there we go. Look at the size of those freaking bubbles coming up. Yeah. That's because those wicks got pushed up a little. And last but certainly not least, the new guy from my favorite one of my favorite modders who is really stepping up his game everything that he releases, the DMD mods. We got this all set up and rocking with that Vena with the black and yellow on Monday. And I chugged through a whole another 30 ml bottle of that strawberry lychee sorbet. And yet again, before the stream tonight, I mixed up another 30. I wanted to mix a 60 because I really need to let it steep to see how much the Wonder Flavors frozen yogurt thickens up the profile. But I didn't have any empty 60s handy. And I'm really loving this mix, man. Pendulum coils, NI90 firecracker on the inside of that one. So I had a couple ideas for tonight because eventually a couple of these things are going to get broken down. This guy's probably going to get broken down soon. It's been in rotation for a few weeks now. I don't know. It at least is going to need to get rewicked soon. But I did pull out the Republic. It does have the 30 millimeter Asgard on top of it. We built it a couple months ago with those 10 core aliens from Hangz made coils. And it's literally only been wicked up like once or twice since we built that. Duchess is fishing tonight. LT says, holy crap, Stevo, another gorgeous setup. Thank you. You need a yellow button for that mod? Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be all black because it's not always going to be black and yellow on this setup. I originally wasn't sure. He did ask me if I wanted any other buttons, like he's making aluminum buttons. I haven't seen him do any yellow though. I don't know if he has anything in yellow that he could make a button out of. But I did pull that Republic out. I really want to get this set up, and it's funny. It's a coincidence that both the mods that I pulled out are kind of grim green stuff, especially since there's no vlog. But this was a little trade I made with Dell a couple months ago, and I I'm really in the mood for some skeleton key. Skeleton key, for anyone who might not know, is our key lime pie. It's more on the creamier side, but it does have a light amount of crust. And the nitrous is probably my favorite atomizer to run that skeleton key in at the moment. So I was thinking of getting this wicked up and probably wicking up the Asgard Mini, or I'm sorry, the 30 millimeter Asgard. Just wicking a couple things up. I thought maybe if there's time, I can wick my Voltrove RBA up. Just wicking a few things up that I would like to have in rotation. But I did also grab something because it's Thursday, and I thought maybe a throwback Thursday idea. But I don't know if I really want to go through all of that. Maybe we can save that for next Monday. Need a little redemption on this little boy RDA. It still has the build in it that we installed. Um, I don't know. This was like 6 months ago at this point. And for anybody that might remember, I got a wicked dry hit off of that build, putting it on the Noisy Cricket. It wasn't dry, it was like a burnt hit. Like there was hot spots or something, or like the build wasn't enough mass to be able to handle the power from the Noisy Cricket. I did pull that out just on a whim, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling just wicking some stuff up, but we would have to wrap an entirely new build for this because I don't trust that build. And I don't know. I don't know if we can fit 3 millimeter coils in this guy, to be honest. But that's what I think would have to go in there to prevent what happened last time. So just a couple ideas. V8 worked better once I finally got response that it was a single coil only. Asked a dozen times. Let's see. What did V8 say? Gestures around vaguely, but we are already there. Let's see. I didn't hear it. I just remember you complaining the coil was tight. Let's see. But it was fun and entertaining to watch you struggle, Tim. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the SQ kind of is throwback, and I guess that can kind of qualify as like a throwback Thursday type of deal. What do you think? What I am also going to do, um, especially if we wick up that Asgard, I'm gonna give the Cloud9 a try tonight. LT reminded me yesterday, I believe it was, and I still haven't tried any Cloud9. So maybe that might be some good cotton to throw into that Asgard. I don't know. Worked out, but the build was not wonk. It was perfect after I got rid of a second coil that is now pre-cut for next time. Yeah. I did pull some of this stuff out just in case. I don't know. This stuff comes in handy in a pinch, but I'm usually not the biggest fan of wrapping coils on stream. I came to my attention that because I thought maybe I could try making like a series build out of one of these pre-wrap spools, but I would have to like be like 10 wraps, and I don't think it's gonna fit in this little guy. This is one of those decks to where I think if you had skills to be able to make a sleeper coil, that is probably what would be the most ideal for this 3-post deck. Yeah, Chinesium coils. this is just stuff that has come to me in like packages, like in just like people tossed them in like in trade packages and stuff like that. You know what? I really want to get this nitrous going. So let's do that. Let's get the nitrous rocking. I'm curious if I should try the Cloud9 and that. Let's cut a piece off and see kind of how. I know Breeze Tones always unravels his and re-rolls it. Like he does like the bacon roll on it. Let's see. Kind of pulls it apart. Let's see. Yeah, that should actually be good for a 2.5 millimeter coil. I'm just going to pull this off. We're going to stretch this out. Let's see. And then just kind of give it a roll. Not even going to need all of that. Let's see. That right there should do it. Actually, I think that's a 3 millimeter coil. That little boy reminds me of the Doge style Addy. Bacon roll for the win. Yeah, it does work, man. There we go. That should be perfect for the coil that's in there. I'm going to set that down. I'm going to put the nitrous deck on the trusty Paranormal because I want to glow it just because it's been sitting for a bit. Make sure, like, you know, it's been sitting, so dust could have, like, fallen in, landed on there. This is a 3 millimeter Husky Fluff for the thicker cotton. Little boy was a bomb ass Addy. Yeah, dude. Like, I felt like once I put that on a regulated mod, like that build, when I wicked it up and I put it like on the double barrel instead of the noisy cricket, it vaped fine. And like, it does have a lot of potential, man, for an old school Addy, for sure. Yeah, this is the first time I'm gonna be trying Cloud9 actually. Let's see, crop, boom, and why does it seem like we're not zoomed in as far as we normally go? I don't know. Something seems off to me tonight. Focus. Bam. Like I feel like we've gotten closer before. It's weird. Like it usually gets closer. Huh. Doesn't the picture usually get closer than that? Maybe I'm losing my mind. I don't know. Uh, could have made a little pillow out of the fur you brushed out. The cricket does the inhale for me. Yeah. All right. Let's give this a glow. We might just wick up a few things tonight. This is a 3 millimeter. It's a mech burrow coil. It's supposed to be for a mech burrow, but I ended up adding the half a wrap and installing it in this guy. Need to wick up something tonight? Yeah. We're still glowing even. I swear something is not right. Like we're usually closer. I swear. Something seems off. It's zoomed in there. Weird. Once you get to like 200%, that's as far as it goes in. But I swear, it used to zoom in closer. All right, anyway. Let's get this going. Steve-O, crazy. Not sure what that has to do with the camera, but sure, we will support your statement and your right to be crazy when the need arises. Like, I swear when I set it to 200%, that it used to be closer in on the Addy. That's all I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's, I don't know. Something just seems different to me. Anyway, let's get this wicked up. Oh, yeah. Nice and smooth through the coil. That's going to be perfect right there. It is some nice and fluffy cotton, I will say. Snip that there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Perfect. Snip that little end off there. Boom. I have 100 milliliters of toasted coconut perillum. I might be separating with. I am too sensitive to coconut. No kidding. Man, I love that flavor. That's too bad. That's too bad. It's nice and clear at least. That's good. Let's flip this up. That was one of the few coconut flavors because I used to be sensitive to coconut too. And that was one of the ones that started getting me into coconut. That and the Wonder Flavors coconut custard. Or putting those together, even. So that's nice and floofy. Let's get this guy out. This tool has been my friend lately. Just right up and in. Easy peasy. I say that and then I accidentally pull it back out. The fluffier the better, because we're squonking with this guy. And I want it to be able to soak up that liquid and hold as much as it can in between squonks. There we go. And I got to get my skeleton key out. Got to get that out of the old drawer here. There we go. This one's nice and steeped. That nice, like dark amber color. Tried everything, but it just blankets my entire mix in a dusty off note. Interesting. Have you tried it at a lower percent? Push too high, any coconut can taste off. Yeah, I understand that though. Used it at 0.5% in a strawberry cheesecake mix. Once the strawberry steep, the coconut just overtook it for me. Coconut does mixing coconut and strawberry is very tricky. I tried to make that koala milk that Oz wanted, and coconut will especially mute out strawberry very, very easily. It kind of bends strawberry into this unique, like, I don't know. It's almost like the strawberry brightens the coconut. The coconut takes over and the strawberry brightens the coconut. They they don't separate from each other. They blend into one cohesive flavor. It's I don't know how exactly how to explain it, but I was trying, and the coconut always mutes out the strawberry and gives you this unique pink coconut flavor. Basically, you end up with like a pink coconut. We got to turn this wattage up. Oh yeah, that's coming in at a 0.19. Absolutely perfect. Getting some crackle from that burrow banger. These were one of the last builds that Jared did for JMW before he started his own group and started Pendulum. They were supposed to go on the menu. As a Kinks coil, they never made it. And I happen to have a couple sets left. All right. Nice and crackly. Let's get our cap on. Boom. I think we can move that. We can put this guy back on here. All right, now we just got to do the squonk bottle and get our battery out. Try coconut with a citrus cream mix before you throw in the towel, sans berries. I've heard of pink eye, but never pink nut. No thanks. Yeah. Pink nut ground zero was either Birdie or Legion, I believe. Okay. You have a recipe? Yeah. Let's fill this guy up. I absolutely was loving how perfect this setup goes together. It's one of those things where, like, yeah, maybe I might someday throw a different RDA on this mod to try it out, see how it looks. But for the most part, I feel like this green nitrous is practically married to this SQ, at least for now. They're just so perfect for each other, man. Actually, let me pull this straw out a little more. Make sure that it's actually, there we go. There we go. It's snugged right up against that contact part right there as much as possible. And then, and then, and then, we got to get a battery out of the drawer. We're going to go matchy, of course. There we go. Boom. Bam. There we go. All set up. Ready to rock some skeleton key. Make a simple recipe, and if you are there, I'll be sure it is something you can mix. Guys, they're still talking about the coconut and strawberry, I think, or at least just the coconut. Oh, I'm still zoomed in. I'm still zoomed in some. Let's get off my face all nice and big. Saw the WF release on BCF. Did you get all the tests? Are they out? Are they up? Are they on there? I checked earlier today. I didn't see them. Get all to test the naturals too. Am I just forgetting you all went over it? No, the naturals. Well, they got to test the naturals. At least some of them, I think. I will say I highly recommend. Uh, my guess is the naturals are probably a separate pack from the other ones, right? Uh, I can't say anything for the naturals, but all the flavors in that other one and the other main release, highly recommend a lot of them. The lemon sorbet, fantastic. That's in this mix here, and that sweet lychee lemonade. Whew. Having that and mango in rotation kind of made me want to pull out the skeleton key. Let's give this a squonk and a rip. I'm glitching. I'm back. Cheers. Let's go. Hmm. It's been a minute since I've enjoyed some skeleton key. Actually, this is probably the longest stretch of time I've gone without vaping skeleton key or like without having it in rotation in a long time. It's a constant in my rotation. And as far as JMW recipes that are Dan's recipes, I would say it's a top. It might be my second favorite, next to Oh My God, It's Blueberry of Dan's recipes. But it's definitely top three. So we got a clutch and an SQ in rotation now. Just something so special about these. Um, I actually wouldn't mind, especially now that I have more RTAs, a mono SQ. Uh, the ones with the DNA 75 in them. But I think they're not 21,700 if I'm not mistaken. I think they're only 18,650 with the DNA 75 in them. I could be wrong, but I don't have a topside SQ. I'm kind of tempted to maybe someday get them all in the collection, but these are the two that I'm you know the most was always the most interested in was the clutch, and I was after one of these SQ squonks for forever. And the fact that I found the Grim Green Edition one was a bonus. Like 50 for the full release naturals, then 25. Okay. I need a clutch. That simple two flavoring WS test recipe of natural blackberry, raspberry acai, and lemon sorbet tastes like a mixed berry lemonade with a creamy finish. Tester already gone. It was so good. Yeah, that lemon sorbet. I, there's just so much potential to use it uh, with so many things. And it's not the only flavor like that in the release. I swear to God, they must have just added that, like, because I swear I checked it earlier today and didn't see it. Mmm. Yeah, that's banging. That's probably going to be in rotation until this bottle of skeleton key is gone. Might take a little longer than normal just because I have so many things currently in rotation at one time. But man, I feel like I'm almost getting back to like 2021, 2022, like where like I literally used to keep like a dozen things set up at all times and just constantly rotating flavors. I used to kind of like more recently I was capping it at maybe like 3 or 4 setups at one time. But even right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yeah, do not lemon sorbet with whipped cream SSA. The creams don't want to vibe as good as I'd hoped. I'd be curious to see if that idea works better with Capella's vanilla whipped cream. Just a thought. Just a thought. It's a little less buttery. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's a little lighter, a little fluffier, maybe. Because I always like to use the Capella, the vanilla one, um, for like a little bit of a lighter cream note. Agreed, Steve. Another whipped cream or maybe vanilla thick. Oh yeah, French vanilla thick or the gelato. Yeah, the gelato is a good choice. I already know so far up to like 4 days the it goes good with the Wonder Flavors frozen yogurt. But what I have it at 1.5%. If I can let one of those bottles last a little bit longer, we'll see if 1.5 is too much or if it needs to go down to like 1%. But just got the two gelatos I haven't mixed with yet. They're excellent, excellent creams. It's the buttery mouthfeel in SSA whipped cream that throws it off with the lemon, I think. Yeah, yeah, that's probably right. Yes, the yogurt mix I made was excellent, awesome. You know, I was almost tempted to rebuild my Elder Dragons tonight too. Um, where is this guy? Because look at this coil, man. We could do that pretty much any night, but these Breeze Tones coils, especially this one, I think it's seen its last days. I'm starting to be able to see some deterioration on the outer wraps here. Let's see if you can see it. No, no, doesn't want to cooperate with me today. I swear to God, if I was in Discord, no, doesn't want to focus for me today. If I was in Discord, this would freaking focus right up. No problem. Yeah, that coil's seen better days. But I don't have any 3 millimeter. Um, I don't have any 3 millimeter triple 28s. I have Duchess's 2.5 millimeter triple 28s. Build it, Steve. Both because if you build it, we will come and watch you. Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna build them, but I'm not gonna actually use them for anything right now. That's kind of the thing. Maybe we should think of a couple mixes for next stream and then build them in Wickham. I don't know. Because I could build them in Wickham and then they just be set up for whatever. But I don't have any liquids that I'm going to be putting in them right now. I do have a liquid that I want to put in this, but I don't know. You guys, by the way, Del Vapes, your battery door is being fixed as we speak. Heck yeah. I was a .1 ohm dual coil snob until I got the Bonza Pro. Love me some 3x28. Yeah, .15s in that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what I would probably do, like I said, I would use Duchess's triple 28s. They're 2.5 millimeters. I might be able to kind of widen them out to 3. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn. I kind of just want to get things in rotation to vape, and that requires wicking up something that I'm actually going to put liquid on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get some batteries out. Build them. You are replacing a full-on vlog tonight. Yeah. Let's build them. Let's build them, and then we'll wick this up next. Let me put these batteries in here. Since I already got them out. They don't take long to build. Enraged Duchess if you attempt to expand his coils. That's not true. I did it with a 3 millimeter, turned it into a 3.5 millimeter for my Bonza Pro. Let's see. That goes there. I got to get the set out. Let's see. Let's get this guy off. Boop. All right. Let's get this coil out of here then. I still swear that this should be zooming in closer. I'm losing my mind. Bam. There we go. All right. I need a Phillips. Get this guy out of here. Boop. Gone. What were these cut at? 5 millimeters, I'm pretty sure. Or I cut them at 6 and then I cut them at 6 and then I let them drop down. Get that out of there. Got my Bag O Duchess coils. No, there was a different set that I wanted to use. That's not the right one. That's not them either. That is the 28s right there. Is this the new kitchen guy? Thought it was Duchess yelling at Nick for doing the same thing. Maybe it was Bree Stones. I don't know. I mean, I can't recall. All right. We've got our Duchess coils out. I need this guy. These are what we're using. Right there. 3x28x36, 2.5 millimeter, 5 wrap. Should come in at about a 0.3. As a single. Holy moly, this is a mess. I need like a box or something to throw everything into. Yeah, see, it's almost a 3 millimeter anyway. So close. I need to kind of bend this leg back a little. All right. Wait, what just happened? How did that? What is going on here? How? That was weird. I could have swore I just... I just unbent that. There we go. That's how we want it. Boom. All right, so I'm going to measure this at 6. And it does, I'll show you, this is how the directions for the Elder Dragon tell you to build it, but then I'm going to show you, exactly how I build it instead. It tells you to cut to 6. You can cut them at 5. But either way, if you use this little arch right here and rest your coiling rod on that cutout, it doesn't matter where you cut it at, because it's going to keep your coil lifted up higher than how deep those go anyway. These were in those ones. Actually, we got to open up the other ones because Duchess's coil are wrapped differently than the coils that were in there. So if you drop it in and let it rest like that, it doesn't matter whether your leads are at 6 or if they're at 5, right? But here's what I do. I will tighten them up, right? Or at least tighten one up. And then I'll push down on this one just a little bit to get it to go a little lower than it would if it was resting, if my coil rod was resting on that. Then open this one back up and push down on that side so they're even. And they're a little lower. See how now it's difficult for me to get my coiling rod through? That's where I want it. It's a little bit of a bitch to get your coiling rod through there, but I want it resting a little bit lower than if it was just sitting on that cutout. And that just kind of helps with spit back. See how it's a little bit lower than that cutout? That's the height that I want. And the airflow is still getting fully underneath the coil, but some of it's also going to hit the corner of the side right there. That is the height that I like. Just to be able to drop it down like an extra millimeter, maybe not even a full millimeter more than where those cutouts would have your coil resting. Let's see. And then you just kind of got to get it in place a little bit with your other tools because the coiling rod doesn't exactly slide in as easily anymore. I just want to make sure it's even. Bam. Make sure these are tight. That's going to stretch the coil out a little, but we're going to pinch it back together. Perfect. There she is. If she spits, she ain't the one. Oh, yeah. uh, let's see. There we go. She in there. There we go. Boom. A little bit of heat to this guy and we'll be good. Yes. A little. We're 18 watts. I'm not going to even have to strum this. I forgot to hit the put the focus back. I'm sorry. I'm not going to even have to strum this. Bam. Elder Dragon built. All right. 35 watts is where I'm at on the reload, and no strumming was needed there either. It did kind of stretch my wraps out a little bit. That might be why, partly, but when I pinched it back together, it's staying in place pretty perfectly there. Let's see. We're reading a 0.29, which is right in the range where I like this. These builds will give me, you know, a few months of flavor testing before, at least a few months of flavor testing before we have to rebuild it again. Might as well put some cotton in there, huh? I don't know. Put some cotton in there, get it set aside. Let's see if this will work. We'll overlap that. Boom. There. Perfect. And then we'll do the other one and just have them both ready to rock. If I can get caught up on my work, I am going to be mixing up and testing those Flavora flavors this weekend, hopefully. So these will be all freshly built and wicked for when we do that. Boom. Cut. Cut. Where are those other guys that I had on there? Let me know how it works. It's good to know what builds and setups work well for liquids, so anyone will ask. Just get this up and in there. Boom. Leave them long because they're deep. That's one Elder Dragon ready to rock. Pop the cap on. Twist it off. Let's do the other one. Might as well. I knew sinking would come back to haunt me. I just dry hit it on the hexome. Now this one already slid onto the 3. I gotta twist this leg back into place straight. It was a little twisted. Make sure that's sitting out wide there. That leg got twisted up in the cap from the jar, I think. All right. Yeah. That one. Did I forget to freaking hit the focus again? No, we're good. It's just not focusing. It's being a jerk. This coil, I think, might have had a little more life left than the other one did, but we're taking it out anyway. Because we need both of our Elder Dragons to be exactly the same. Consistency. Yeah, this is something I do every few months with the Elder Dragons. I might not run these coils as long as I would in some other atomizers because flavor testing is serious business. There we go. It's ready to rock. It's been crazy busy at work. I'm sorry to hear that, LT. Get these cut. Dicky Mo. Dicky Mo. There we go. Are they sitting even? That one looks like it's a tad longer. There we go. Boom. We should just be able to drop these guys in there just like the last one. Come on. Take that out so we can push this side down. Perfect. Loosen that. Push that down so it's even again. Maybe this side has to come back up a little more. Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, you'll see how it's sitting just a little bit lower than what that allows. Let me take a look at the other one real quick. No. Just a tad lower. Sorry, guys. Got him. There we go. Make sure there's no wonk. That's the hardest part when you drop it lower than what, boom. Rock and roll. Beautiful, Clark. Okay, so does it drive anybody else nuts saying beautiful Clark? Because the line is actually, she's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut. Just me? Anybody else? I don't know. Let's see. Yes. And hit it with the heat. There's still some water droplets in there. Okay, this one's going to need a little strumming. I think this one might have gotten jammed up a little bit. With that leg being bent funny. It's also wet. I rinsed these out right before the stream. I don't know if you can hear the sizzling. We're good. We're rocking. We're rolling. Back in business. You hear the sizzle? Golden. We holding on to what's golden. At the stage with a rage and I'm rolling. Oh, wrong one. Let's reread. 0.29, exactly the same as the last one. It's still sizzling. All right. I don't think this is going to be enough cotton. We're going to have to pull a little bit more Cloud 9 out. Bam. Unravel this guy. Just need to pull enough off to let's see. Stretch her out. That guy there. And then we can take our spare from the last one and kind of add to it. We're still using a little bit more. There we go. That's a little thicker than what we need still. I kind of Frankenstein together two pieces of cotton. Boosh. Thank you, Duchess. Wallet moth escape is an epidemic that they should focus on instead of regulating what they don't understand. Huh. You are the man, Duchess. Let's see. Perfect. That's actually a little thicker or a little thinner on that one side. So there we go. There, that's perfect. Snip and snip. One side ended up a little thinner than the other, but it don't really matter too much. Because that side's just getting tucked right in. So both of these are ready for the next time we taste a single flavor or we mix up a new recipe to taste. I can just grab my Elder Dragons. And juice them up now. There we go. All nice and purty. We are not juicing these guys up. Actually, that can stay on that mod, actually. Because the next guy is already on a mod, and we can just use that. We are going to juice this sucker up, though. Posting links in mental health advocacy, and for what V8 said. For holding the camera for Tim and Birdie. Dang, internet went out and just kicked back on. Oh, yo, Corporate Jason, what's up, dude? All right. This one we are wicking up. Or juicing up. Shit. Maybe that beauty ring isn't going to be our friend right now. I was going to try to get some better shots of these coils. And I think I did. Oh, shit. That is on there. Whoop. These are those 10-core handsmaids. Bam. We're just going to wick these suckers up. They're 3.5 millimeter, so I don't know if I've got enough cotton here to do what I need to do. But I don't want to, certainly don't want to waste any. Let's see. I keep on forgetting to do this, guys. I'm sorry. Those coils look amazing. They are pretty rad, dude. They really are. Pull those apart. Let's see. We can kind of wrap that guy up. Pull that off. Let's see. I'm curious about something. Because this is kind of long. Pull that to there. And cut it super duper short. Let's see. And see if this is enough for my other coil. Should be yes. Just give it a snip like that. Bam. That's how you conserve some cotton. Make the best of what you got. I probably should have glowed these up first, but I think we'll be okay. Let's fluff that out. I'm trying not to thin it. I'm trying to fluff it. This cotton is definitely more delicate. I've noticed when I'm trying to fluff it, it's more likely to get some chunks of it pulling out. Bam. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Easy peasy. Up and in with these guys. Yeah, this side's definitely thicker because I tried to do that in conserved cotton. But we'll be okay. All this bacon roll is making me crave bacon. Can't be just me feeling that way. Yeah. Just fluff it out, fluff it out. Sang like the Walk It Out song. Yeah. All right. This guy calls. Oh, I need a vape. Hold on. Let me give this a squonk and a vape real quick. Let's go. This calls for. I see people doing the cotton roll, and it always makes me think when I used to roll my own cigarettes. Oh, yeah, yeah. There is kind of like a satisfaction element from doing it. Like it's just like a tinkering type of thing. We're going Crunchberry Shake because I just topped this off from a big old 250 ml batch that's been sitting in my drawer and steeping. And since we got a good quantity of that liquid, we'll be able to squonk through plenty of it. It's reading at a 0.14. Let's turn that wattage up. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're at 73 watts now. Just to get that juiced up and pulsed in. It definitely seems different than working with the FDH cotton. I feel like the FDH cotton typically absorbs a little bit faster, but it could just be me. This stuff seems very fluffy. It's delicate. I definitely clean though. I didn't get like any cotton break-in taste from the from when we wicked the what's it called? The nitrous. I made a pecan crunch and I'm sorry, a pecan crunch, a pecan cereal with milk. It's been steeping for over a week. I might try it tonight. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Let me get this on. Boom. Get our beauty ring back. I don't know if we're gonna stick with this drip tip, but for matchy purposes with the mod, it does match the mod nicely. I didn't actually spin these batteries around to try to capitalize on the orange X's showing through like I wanted to. There we go. Boom. Let's fill her up. You have to be careful with them things. I can destroy a box of Rice Krispies. Bro, you ain't lying. Let's fill her up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See the line. Yeah, there you can kind of see it. The fill line creeping up there. She's getting there. Sucker takes a lot of liquid. 10 mils. Something like that. That'll do. That's pretty darn close to full. Blammo! We definitely got to crank that up to like 100 at least. I don't know. Is that all the way open? Yep, sure is. All right. So there we go. That's all wicked up. Filled up. Wait, what? The zoom is not working correctly, I swear. Like, weird. I kind of, this is a little bit darker. I like how that drip tip matches the black mod, but I do want to try something here. Boom. To match the orange. Ooh-wee! It does look kind of slick. Let's you see how it matches the orange on the X's there? Heck yeah. Let's do it. Beautiful. Duchess, you finally demolished that strawberry Rice Krispie. You need you a Vortex 30 for the Republic? I don't know, man. I don't know if I really do need one. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying one eventually, but the Asgard 30 seems to be serving me quite all right. I don't typically run a lot of 30 millimeter atomizers. That orange does pop off that black quite a bit there. I don't even know if 100 watts is going to be enough power. But I've got a couple other fur drip tips. One that might be a little thicker. It doesn't match the orange of the batteries, but it's a little bit thicker. Let's see. It's taller too, though. Yeah, I think I like the orange. The orange fits in there a little nicer. All right, here we go. Cheers. Run the orange, yeah. I like the orange. That needs to go up more. I 120 watts. Yes, sir. I have an orange drip tip as well. Mid at best. Get out of here. I only had half of it. I'm trying to watch my sugar intake. Seen Duchess orange strip tip? We call it Oompa Loompa. Yeah. Yeah. The orange does go nicely. Uh, Also, what we need to do is. No, that's not it. Mode, settings, color. There. Orange on the screen as well. So we've got the orange X's, the orange tip, and the orange screen. That orange would look pretty sick on your hexome, wouldn't it? Yeah, if your tip is orange and dripping, you should see a doctor. Yeah. I think 120 watts is probably right where we need to be. It's been a minute since I've enjoyed some of this Crunchberry shake. I don't even think I need to cut that down. I got like 2 sets of holes closed down. It's been a while since I mean, other than running like the mech build on the Kennedy, I haven't been doing as much high wattage. We did like the recoil on the clutch last week. A few weeks ago we had the hexome in rotation. But as far as like regulated high power, this been a while since I busted anything out and turned it up to 120 watts. If only I had an orange 510 already made that's just sitting here in an orange stubby that isn't being used. Rub in that salt deep, Steve. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. I ha- I think this is labeled 424. So that means this is over 3 months deep. I haven't put the Crunchberry milkshake in a setup in almost 4 months, 3.5 months. That's crazy. Like I intentionally made that batch and put it in the drawer to steep, but I wasn't expecting to go through that long without breaking it out again. And I typically, for the longest time, was running the Crunchberry milkshake in like the broken Addy, but at 120 watts, especially steep this long, like the milkshake base and the ice cream in this really, really shines. Like, of course, you get the crunchberry, the strawberry, and the blueberry, but the ice cream really shines in this liquid at high wattage. It legit tastes and feels like a milkshake. This is probably one of my, uh, aside from like apple cream cake, This is one of the recipes that I am the most proud of. And I know a lot of people love it too. Never once heard a person smoking a cigarette look at it after the exhale and say, this is child marketing. Yeah, right? Orange or yellow with black is definitely a draw for me these days. But the black and red is a classic that never fails. Yeah, black and red is nice. Yo, I don't see too many people doing black and yellow either. We had to rock that. That's going to be in rotation for a while too, probably. I mean, obviously, I like to try to get through, more squonks. I got so many, we got to find excuses to get them in rotation. How dare you have something delicious? Yeah. Has anyone tried to do a black currant and vape juice? I know some vapors in the UK have. I want to try this flavor. Um, yeah, yeah, because Yig, the old Grim Juice Yig, was a black currant, was a oatmeal cookie and black currant custard, and Sifu did the tribute. This is not the greatest Yig in the world. This is just a tribute. And I mean, I'm sure I've seen some other people use black currant. I got a bottle, one of those 10 ml bottles of Yig, in the package that I got this in, and unfortunately, we did taste test that bottle, and my bottle had gone bad. It just tasted burnt to me. Um, Unfortunately. Never had anyone smoke a cigarette and say, "I wish I had an orange drip tip to make this look even better." Yeah. Heck yeah, dudes. Dudes and dudettes. The last time I had this in my hand, I couldn't separate from it for a while. So we'll probably be rocking this for a couple weeks for sure before, rotating something in its place. But needed some crunchberry shake in my life. The other thing I need in my life is some cookie cane. Bro, my friend used to smoke pinks. What are pinks? Pink cigarette with a gold filter? No shit. Yeah, so we successfully wicked two squonk setups, pre-built our elder dragons, and one more thing that I really need back in rotation is some cookie cane, which means I need to wick up my Voltrove 1.1. Shout out to Mark from Voltrove. He did that big blowout, like, sell all stock sale a couple weeks ago, and I got my package, but I didn't even open it until last night. It was just kind of sitting here on my counter because it was just spares. It was a spare glass for my 25 V3, and then I bought a couple extra spare tank sections for my 1.1 and a couple spare baggies. And the spare baggies I got, I mean, yes, the O-rings are nice, but the spare baggies I got, where's my guy here? The spare baggies for the most part I got for this here. I'll show you. Um, oops. For this part right here, this guy, that threads off and then you thread it onto the adapter. I've been a lot more careful with them because, especially this one, it's my last one. But over time, I had eventually stripped out the inner Allen head of that, which in turn makes it a little more difficult to get it nice and snug. So I bought those spare kits with the O-rings that each come with one of these. Shout out to him because I purchased, I think, 2 extra tank sections because I already had one here. And this one is the first spare that I used. Like I used the one that it came with for like a year and a half, and then I switched out to this one and had one unused spare tank left. So I purchased 2 more. He put 5 of these tank sections in my package. 5 of them. So I've got 6 spares total now. And then I think I bought 2 spare baggies and he gave me 4 of them. So as long as I take care of this guy, I definitely got spares to keep this running for another several years. I've been running the Voltra 1.1 for 3 years now. I think I got it in 2022, the summer of 2022. And I don't plan on stopping using this guy. It's literally the only burrow device RBA that I use. I have a couple others that I might use occasionally, but like this is the only one that I just love more than any of them. I need to message him. He didn't send me the spare. Oh, really? No kidding. That's wild. Did you go through the form and go through the PayPal links? Yeah, definitely message him because he posted on the group saying that he had shipped everything out. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely message him. Yeah, I would imagine with a sale that big that maybe he missed a couple. You would hope not, but yeah. I need to set up my Voltro RBA one of these days. I basically only use burrows. Yeah, this is the only. I have the Tauren burrow, and I paired that with the Damn Vape Xeon, and it's like a perfect pairing. I have the Tita X, which is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of separate burrow tanks. I like I know this is like most people probably don't prefer this, but I prefer the types of RBAs where the deck is built into the base and then they have the proprietary tank section. I don't know why, I just do. Um, I also have the Odd Job, but the Odd Job, I don't know. The Odd Job kind of pisses me off. It's a bitch to wick consistently. I got the mini and the adapter base for my 1.1, but he missed the spares. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, message him because I think those spares bags are probably what he had the most of, and I would hope he still had plenty of them left. And if for any reason you don't like if you need spare bags and he like for some reason he might not have any, he did send me a couple extra VA. I wouldn't mind sending you some because they last a lot longer than I originally thought they might. Let's see. I'm just gonna admit I'm not totally turned off by the gaudy nitrous. I'm not either. I'm not either. Let's get this out of here. Um, I got so many things just laying around now to where I don't even have room to move my mouse anymore. I need to get this guy out so I can put this on the paranormal and wick this up. I am going to use FDH cotton for this one. I don't know. I don't know. This might be enough cotton, but the FDH cotton, I just feel like the 3mm FDH cotton is how I get the most consistent wick job out of this guy. So I might just grab my 3mm FDH and use that. Let me roll that up and see how thick it is. And we'll go from there. Boop. Yeah, see that like hardly like zoomed in. It's weird. Oh yeah. There is a little guy. This guy that comes in the kit, because you got to turn this off. Take this off. I'll set that there. Pop this off. Boop. And screw that on. I was going to order another one of these, but I don't think I need a spare one of them. I take really good care of it. I always put it back in the box, put it in the same spot every time. You don't want, you do what I tell you to. Now go make a sandwich. The texture on the Sophia Nitrous is eventually going to cause wear, but so far has held up very well. Oh, nice. This is a 3mm cherry bomb. I used to run a special SFC build in the Voltrove until I tried the 3mm cherry bomb in there and then got addicted to the crackle. It doesn't always crackle perfectly, but there's at least a little bit of rumble. SFCs don't crackle like at all. So let's see. Go back. Yes. Let's glow it because it's been sitting for a bit. Beautiful. Let me roll this up and see where we're at with it. I don't think this is going to be enough cotton. No, I don't think it's going to be thick enough. Maybe. Well, let's try it. Well, yeah. That actually might work just perfect. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Because otherwise I'm just going to stick this piece of cotton into the jar, the can. Ah. Hold on. It's my sister. I gotta text her real quick. All right. Wait a minute. Duchess is telling another woman to make him a sandwich. I knew you were stepping out on me. All right, this might be too thick, but we'll see. No. No, I don't have Dean. Leo's probably asking for Dean, my nephew. They usually get together like on a call and play Roblox. There we go. Let's do the old back and forth. Now, I used to thin the crap out of this. This is where it's going to be tricky because I've never used this cotton for this RVA. I used to thin it out a shit ton. I'll cut right there, right at the edge of that. I might comb that just a touch. There we go. I used to thin it out a bunch. But what I found out is over time is if I just leave it, you know, thicker and fluffier, that I get more longevity out of the wick job. So there's a couple clumps I want to get out. And it's less likely to start weeping over time if you leave it more full. And the wick job will hold up a lot longer. Like usually I'll wick this up and the wick job will last 3 to 4 weeks as long as I don't thin this cotton out too much on the ends here. And I'm really just trying to clean up some clumps, but we should be good. Let's see. Just kind of get that in there nice and easy. Like that. Boom. These tweezers have been a game changer for me of getting things tucked in. Now, sometimes if something bunches up, what I'll do is I'll take these pointier tweezers, because sometimes things will bunch up in there, and I'll take that and kind of pull it from the outside, and it'll make sure that anything that might have scrunched up in the bottom there straightens itself out. This really wasn't necessary this time around, but I'm just showing you, just so you can see what I do if it does bunch up in there. And then I'll snip, and trim it. And then poke it back in. Just to make sure that nothing's bunched up in there. Just to help make sure that liquid's flowing in there nicely. Taking the time to do that. I don't know. Maybe it just is it like an OCD obsession of mine that started. That's how I wick the Osiris too. The Osiris, I'll pull the wicks out from that hole and pull everything straight, and then cut along the edge there, and then tuck them back in. But with the Osiris, you need to make sure that it's nice and fluffy up top and filling out all the space. There can't be any gaps in space for the Osiris. Heath was asking about the Osiris earlier, so I figured why not kind of explain that as an example while I've got a similar wicking style atomizer out, and we're good to go. Nice and fluffy. My focus is being a pain in my ass today. Come on. There we go. Nice and floofy. And hopefully that works well, because like I said, I've never used this cotton in this atomizer before. The Osiris is a pain to wick. Has to be perfect, but worth it, yeah. Let's see, put that there. Let's get this out of here. Let's put these bottles away so they're not taking up space on the table. And I keep on grabbing for... Man, let's get this juiced up. This is cookie cane, by the way. I might have probably mentioned that several times already, but peppermint frosted sugar cookie. Candy cane frosted sugar cookie, to be even more accurate. I'm hoping to do a holiday drop on it come Christmas time. Boom. This is probably the longest I've ever let a bottle steep, too. Yeah. Definitely not the snappy crackle that I sometimes get. But sometimes that changes once it breaks in. And you start vaping on it a little bit. All right. All right. Clean that up a bit. Boom. Get this guy on here. And we'll tighten this guy back on here again. Makes me want to try peppermint ice cream mix or milkshake. Yeah. I want to do something with that new chocolate mint. I'm just not sure yet exactly what. I know you didn't care for that flavor as much. Hi, late, but I'm here. Hi, everyone. Cat is half on my lap and half on. Hey, how are you? I'm glad you made it. On Monday, I tried sharing the link with you on Facebook. I don't know if you've been logging in there as much anymore, but I did see you commented, and you are here tonight, so that is awesome. Drop that guy in there. Screw that in to that point, and then we'll use this tool to snug it up. All right. Let's see. Let's get a battery. Hopefully this is the battery that doesn't give me a hard time. It is. Yep. Tighten that down in there. Fill her up. Boom, boom, boom. Got to hit it at the right angle. Keep an eye on it. Because sometimes if the tip of the bottle isn't in there at the right angle, it'll squirt back out on me. And boom, that's about full enough. Probably start this at 34 watts. Usually end up somewhere around 36 or 37. Boom. All right, let's give her a shot. Wait, Steve's cat hasn't made an appearance and he hasn't yelled at her. Something's not right. Oh, she's been taking a nap this whole time. The FW is the only one I don't get toothpaste from. Let's see. There we go. We're good. All right. There we are. Let's give her a rip. We're going to start at 34 watts. Like I said, I usually end up at like 36, 37. Cheers. She's rating it a 0.36, which is pretty spot on to how this has been reading it. So let's go. We're going to go up to 30. We're just going to go right up to the 36. Get it going. Yep. Have a good night, everyone. Mao, you have a great night, dude. Thank you. Poke the kitty. We need the cat scratch fever segment. No, she is up now. She's yawning and she's poking around. She's got like this little box that's laid down, usually laid down over here in front of the back door. And I've got it kind of standing up the long way right now. And she's inspecting it at the moment. Definitely getting a nice string of small bubbles. Now, sometimes a long stream of really tiny bubbles isn't exactly the good sign that you think it is. When they're really, really small, sometimes it means that it's struggling to displace the air. But um, what I've noticed with pretty much every time I wick this darn Voltrove is I usually got to puff on it for a few minutes before I start getting the saturation that I'm used to. So like that. Oh yeah. We're crackling, we're bubbling, we're vaping good. We're tasty, damn tasty. And there we have it. Man, that that peppermint cookie, man. Especially with this like an extended amount of time to steep. I don't know when I mixed this batch. It says 428 on there, but I know I topped that bottle off since then. I must not have replaced like I'll usually stick like an extra little blank piece of label paper over there and change the date. I must have forgot to do that. But with an extended amount of time to steep, the peppermint, the white chocolate, and the frosting really like they really like meld together in such like a just a beautiful harmony. And then the cookie sits underneath and you get it on the exhale. I don't know. It's just been a nice palate cleansing vape for me. Um, we can't have Ashley out during streams or she will not let me type on the phone. Oh, no kidding. Used to have a little remote controlled mouse that we would keep our cat entertained with. Oh, nice. Yeah, there are some toys I seen advertised that I would like to pick up for her and try and see if she likes them. I want to pick up that blueberry in a 50-50 and a regular 70-30, I'll write you on Facebook. And how does this compare with Sad Boy's Shamrock Cookie? I don't know. I've never had Sad Boy Shamrock Cookie. Unfortunately, Christmas in July. Oh wait, it's August. Yeah. I love that liquid. Like I said, I've been planning on doing a holiday drop for it. Hopefully, I've been mentioning it quite often, so uh, I'm I'm going to insist that it happens. Shamrock cookie is thin mint. This is peppermint cookie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've never had the shamrock cookie. This is like it's white chocolate, peppermint, sugar cookie, and like a light uh I don't know, generic store brand frosting is how I would describe it. Like those sugar cookies with the really, really thick amount of frosting on top of them. Yeah, I do. I remember. You're not going to miss out on it when it happens. So it's like a chocolate thin mint. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah. And this is usually the guy that like when I pack everything up for the night and I'm ready to go lay down in bed and I want to take a vape with me to set on my nightstand so I have something right there next to me, you know, this is what I'll take. Something regulated. I pull all the batteries out of all my mechs because I don't like to leave any vapes with batteries in them unattended. And then I'll take something regulated with me. And this tends to be the one, but I haven't had it set up in a good few weeks now. I just picked up some Shamrock Cookie, and normally I'm not a fan of Sad Boy, but this baby is addicting. Oh, okay, nice. I've actually never had any Sad Boy liquids. The airflow is a little sharp on the Voltrobe 1.1, like a little high pitched, but I don't know. I just the performance and the flavor that I've gotten from it all these years, it just I don't know. I guess it just makes it easy to look past that. I also like using the door that has the extra airflow cut out right there. So then you got your airflow coming in from here and here. It maximizes the amount of airflow that comes in and really helps that Voltrove live up to its potential for airflow. If I didn't have a great ode to by Tom Lyford, I'd still get Shamrock Cookie once in a while, but it is too sweet. Ah, okay. So yeah, I think that's the last thing that we're gonna set up tonight. Like I said, we've got the Elder Dragons pre-built and wicked for when we need them. We already had this guy and this guy from Monday, and these just from previous weeks here, and we add the billet box to that, this guy to that, and then you can probably turn these so you can see things better, and then boom, that is a frickin' buffet. If I haven't seen one like that in quite a while. 7 frickin' setups, dude. That's quite a bit for me to have in rotation all at one time. But each one serves a purpose. I get my mango fix. Boom. I got that new strawberry lychee sorbet fix. I got my crunchberry milkshake, my key lime, my peppermint cookie, my Samoa cheesecake for my coconut fix, and then of course some apricot almond. And it's an array of, you know, uh, super direct lung high wattage all the way down to 30-watt restricted direct lung. So yeah, and I'm gonna start setting things back into different places on my desk so they're not just sitting here in the freaking way. Because I actually do have to clean up and set up this station to try and get a really big order knocked out tonight. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna get it finished tonight, but I'm really gonna try my darndest because I've kind of been slacking on it the last 2 nights. Last night I decided to push it back and work on uh, several small orders that I had to get those taken care of and on their way, and then the big one. Focus on the big one all at once. Put this over here. Uh, and we can put the tools away after we finish up here. Um, however, we are still gonna hang out for anybody that would like to. Um, the um, the JMW voice chat and the Discord server should be open if anybody could pop in there at any time. I know obviously there's other hangs places where people like to hang out as well. So, but I figure we might as well use the JMW one. Why not? We've been having a good time in there the last couple nights. Tim dropped a new release last night. Oh yeah, the Candlelight Punch. I saw that. Actually, Dell saw that and told me that you guys had added it. That one sounds really good. I've got a similar between my 3 pods and my dispos, and oh yeah, the apricot almond sounds delish. Def want to pick up a bottle. Yeah, you would have to use the in the know selection, or we would just have to work out your order in PMs when you're ready. Um, I'm working on it. I'm trying to make some new stuff available, but it's been a challenge. It's been difficult because it hasn't been the easiest time sourcing some flavors for certain recipes lately. Um, Flavors are being discontinued. Certain places aren't carrying things anymore. It makes you have to go around to several different websites to try and place orders to get everything that you need, and it's been a challenge. So I'd rather try to make sure we got all of our ducks in a row before dropping a new recipe and then having it all like fizzle out like right away. It does bring up the possibility of doing like potential limited release drops for recipes, seasonal releases maybe, because it just it's been happening more and more. Flavors are becoming difficult to source, unfortunately. Well, oh yeah, the nut free version of the boysenberry sundae. That's right, you did say that too. Draw, that's awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it without the nuts. I will say I did like it with the nuts, but it it did kind of wear down my palate a little bit long term, and I had to take a break from it. But I really did like it with the nuts. I, just had to take breaks from it in between throwing some other stuff in between it. Uh, Seriously, why all the changes? It's just the way that the industry is at the moment. We don't really know why. Like some flavors, we know why is because one company changed a policy, like a minimum amount. Um, other other companies and other flavors could be a supply chain issue. We're not really 100% sure, but it's kind of been challenging. It's the best word that I can use. The nut-free option is a drop-down choice. Very cool. Okay. Few different reasons depending on what and where, yeah. Although I did try it after a month steep Stevo and the nut was more blended and in the background. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely had let it sit and steep for a while. Cuz even over the course of like a week or so of running that liquid, the nut did the peanuts definitely did start to blend in and weren't as dominant anymore. Really sorry to hear this. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that we're going to have to get used to and hope that it doesn't seriously affect anything like really popular, like anybody's like major favorites, you know what I mean? Let's see. But yeah, guys, I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. We did start 10 minutes late, but we're coming up on 10 o'clock. And once we hit about 3 hours, my voice starts to go anyway. So we're kind of pushing the limit of how long I'm physically capable of streaming. Some flavors is sourcing resources to make them. Some is increase in minimum order to distros aren't stocking them, and a huge push for use of flavors and other mediums is most of them. All right, yeah, okay. I'm finding that I can't taste fruits with heavier ingredients. Why is that? And oh yeah, it's late and sorry for being late. No, you don't have to apologize for being late. Um, can't taste fruits with heavier ingredients. Why is that? Um, you could be I mean, it could be sensitivity to compounds that are in the other flavors, so it's causing the fruits to mute out on your palate. Would be a main guess. You're picking up on the heavier flavors. They're coming across more potent on your palate. That would be a first guess. It's hard to say because literally every single person's palate is different. But that is most likely what I think it would be. Um, might jump in. Okay, awesome, V8. Thank you, Kim C. Right on, bro. Have a good night. Heath, I'm glad you were able to make it. Everybody who is still here, who hung out for the long haul, anybody, oh, well, of course, anybody who popped in just to say hello. I appreciate you all. 2 streams in 1 week. Um, doesn't happen very often, only when there's no vlog. I know there are some more upcoming weeks where there isn't going to be a vlog. I don't, maybe we'll try and do one more of these Thursday ones, but I don't think we're going to do one every single time there's no vlog. But maybe we'll try and do one of those weeks, another one of those weeks, at least one. We'll see. It kind of depends on how my schedule plays out, because I can never really predict when my son is going to want to be here and when he's not going to want to. But this was a fun one, and I guess I'm going to decide what to go out on. I think maybe we'll grab the one that's the cloudiest. We're going to give it a squonk, and we'll get on out of here with some clouds. Like I said, if anybody feels like hanging out, hit the JMW Discord voice chat. We'll be in there. Feel free to drop any hashtags or any fun little words or good nights that you want to in the chat. I like to throw them up on the screen. And that's going to do it. Love you all. Thank you, as always, for wicking it and kicking it with me. We are JMW. Good night.